Hey, good afternoon. Welcome to Squawking1200. Today we are situated in Kilo Echo Foxtrot Kilo in Vermont, USA. We're back in the airfoil lab, Cessna 172. I moved the webcam, sorry. Where was I? Oh, we're back in... I moved the webcam over to the center on my main monitor rather than off to the side where I was. So there should be a little bit more direct eye contact with you guys. Hopefully it won't be too weird. Going to start out with some pilot to ATC traffic patterns, and then we're going to take it from there and see where we go. So let's start getting some pertinent information here. Most pertinent information, we should probably start in Sky Vector. Let me call that up on my internet here. Alright. Kilo Echo Foxtrot Kilo. Excuse me, here we are. Situated in... Oh, sorry, something was just moving on the chat. Newport State. We're going to check Northeast Kingdom here. Let's find the AWAS. Alright, so that's good. We're going to fire this thing up and then we will get to our, looks like 118.275. Idle cutoff, battery on, shut off the avionics. Beacon light on. We have the doors open. We were just, as I was sitting here on the tarmac, the windows were steaming up. I like that feature in the airfoil labs. Alright, let's see. Fuel pump. Full. And crack the throttle, levels off, 4 or 5 seconds. That's usually good. 2, 3, 4th click. Clear prop. Alright, need a little bit more prime. This technique works a little bit better for me when I just advance them both forward. Crack the throttle. Nobody. Clear prop again. Advance the mixture slowly. And bring the RPMs to around 1200. Alternator on. Avionics on. Gonna secure that door. I'll leave the windows open for a little bit. Secure door locked, windows open, and we have ventilation. Excuse me 1 second. Alright, what did I say? 118.275. 118. I'm going to check with, oh, there it is.
230 visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 7,500 broken. Temperature 0. Dew point -12. Altimeter 2980.
I wasn't picking that up. Something's a little bit loud in the background. I got to, co-pilot, we need the radios up, or if it's even just in the master.
Newport State weather. Wind 230 visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 7,500 broken. Temperature 0. Dew point -12. Altimeter 2980.
Alright, winds 230 at 7. 2980 on the altimeter.
Report state weather.
It's still low. I don't know what the
Visibility more than 10. Sky
I'm gonna
conditions 7,500.
go with the clamp this thing down here. Come on, window.
Altimeter 2980.
What?
Report state weather.
I don't know why the
Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 7,500 broken. Temperature 0. Dew point -12. Altimeter 2980.
come on, window. Alright, we'll get to that back in a second. Let's start with the correcting of the altimeter to
Newport state weather. Wind 230 at 7. Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 7,500 broken.
I'm not getting any guides there. I think there's something a little bit funky with the relaunch of this. Funny, I was just reading about that somewhere. Somebody else was having something similar. So 29er
Newport state
80.
230 at 7.
Altimeter is 950.
Sky conditions 7,500.
That concurs
Temperature 0.
with the estimated elevation of 933. Yeah, it's perfect. Sorry. Something in my throat. There's something totally whacked here with the little hand is not cooperating.
Conditions 7,500 broken. Temperature 0. Dew point -12. Altimeter 2980.
Me no like. I'm not liking that. I'm not. The door opens and closes, but it doesn't.
Sky conditions 7,500
You don't really know where.
broken. Temperature 0.
Hmm.
Dew point -12. Altimeter 2.
Now, is this going to require a whole shutdown of the sim or a relaunch? This is aggravating. Let's see, I think it's broken. Failures, maintenance.
30 at 7. Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 7,500 broken. Temperature 0. Dew point -12. Altimeter 2980.
Wow, that was
State weather.
painful.
Wind 230 at 7. Visibility more than 10.
Now I can hear my sound much better.
7,500 broken.
All right.
Temperature 0. -12. Altimeter
Now what we got to do, we got to find the airport.
Newport state weather.
It's not really a good diagram of this place.
Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 7,500 broken. Temperature 0. Dew point -12. Altimeter 2980.
Looks like it would be runway 23. Not sure exactly where I'm situated
Newport
here.
state weather. Wind 230 at 7. Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 7,500 broken. Temperature 0. Dew point -12. Altimeter 2980.
So we're going to start with our Unicom 122.8.
Newport state weather.
All right. I'm thinking, based on what I could tell, 2-3 was down this way. Taxi light on, navigation light. Alright, this is kind of lining up to what I was hoping. Looks a little similar to the map. Let's see, we're going to inspect the fuel. That looks good. Fuel flows fine. Temperature's in the green. Pressure's in the green. Vacuum is a little bit low. It's because we're a little bit below idle there. There we go. Brakes are working fine. As we're going, the turn coordinator is working. Altimeter set. Radio's on. CTAF. Gonna hold short here and do a little back taxi. Northeast Kingdom, Skyhawk, November 212 Bravo, back taxiing to runway 23. Northeast Kingdom. Might be called Newport, sorry. Newport traffic, Cessna Skyhawk, November 212 Bravo, back taxiing to runway 23, Newport traffic. Alright, I'll take that. Going to remain in the pattern here, so that'll be my next call. I'm trying to see if where the let's say reading the runway 5 has some trees, 23 has a pole. Goals on and in vicinity of airport, visual glide slope, cold temperature, altitude correction required at or below minus 22 degrees Celsius, minus 8 Fahrenheit. I do not see anywhere where it makes a reference to right-hand traffic, so I'm going to go with left traffic. Newport traffic. Skyhawk November 212 Bravo taking runway 23 for left-hand traffic, for left-hand pattern work. Newport traffic. Alright, the one thing I want to do before we get going, I'm going to set the parking light, strobe off, landing light. I want to do some worldly trafficy. I'm going to generate some stuff. We're just going to say KEFK. We're going to say Uxton, welcome to the chat. We're going to do C172, doing a little bit of pattern work here in Vermont. Got a 7-knot wind. Going to do some World Traffic 3 generating. What I'm going to do, I'm going to actually increase this a bunch. Continuing. That was fine. I'm going to create flights again. Hopefully I'm generating some general aviation traffic that we can kind of dodge and play with here. It still does not exactly sync up together. You know, they do land on different runways. They spawn in front of you, etc. So we are almost 1,000 feet above. I think for simplicity, I think I'm just going to set my altimeter at 1,000. Going to go up about 500 feet. We're going to bank left. We're going to continue to climb. We're going to go up to about 1,000 feet, where we are going to continue to make left traffic. So we are going to adjust to Oh, there's somebody spawning in right down there. Hey, welcome, big, what is that thing? Big twin engine. Let's see, so let's, Rich, crank up some RPMs here. Gonna go 2 clicks to the left and check the right magneto. Little drop. Back to both. Left magneto. And a similar drop. Back to both. Look at that little bastard spawned in front of us. Caution, wake turbulence. Where am I? I'm in Newport. Newport traffic, Cessna Skyhawk 212 Bravo departing runway 23 for left-hand traffic, Newport traffic. Firewall that thing, little right rudder. The wind is coming slightly from our right hand, almost like the 1230 position, and up we go. And let's see, positive rate of climb. And out of habit, first to put our flaps up. Climbing out at around 72. .400 feet coming up. And we're going to turn crosswind. Crosswind on a climb here. Beautiful Vermont. If everything goes well, maybe we'll call for a car and head over to Ben & Jerry's. If you haven't been there, it's a lot of fun. Alright, nobody looks like they're landing in our zone. And we are at traffic pattern altitude. We're actually braking, busting our traffic pattern altitude. Coming up on downwind. Wow. First notch of flaps, we're already a beam of the runway, so we're going to go notch our flaps. Take care of that. Alright. Extended center line, I'm going to put that kind of right where that field is. Hey, Kadam's 587, welcome to the channel. Taking my eyes off my cockpit here. We're just doing a little bit of pattern work in Vermont in the Airfoil Labs 172. We're using X-Plane 1110 Release Candidate 3. Second notch of flaps as we turn base. Push that nose down, dropping that 500 feet a minute or so. Need a little bit more power, I believe. Don't want to be going too slow here. And rolling out. Thank you for that tip. Reduce power before I put in the first notch of flaps. Alright. No, that's good. I'll take any conversation and criticism. Alias Mr. Jones, welcome to Squawking1200's. Geez. I was a little short that time. That's alright. Need more speed. Let's see. The wind will be coming from our slightly right of our nose as we land. It's almost a direct headwind. It's coming from 230. You can really feel I gotta really crank up that throttle more than normal. We're in the Airfoil Labs, Cessna. Yes, we are in the Airfoil Labs today. Using the X-Plane Realistic. I don't think I've added anything new to the sim this week. World Traffic 3, so you can see somebody there just spawned onto the runway. I saw the Karen Auto Sale on the .org. There wasn't too much more that I was interested in. Alright, this one's, we're looking pretty good here. We're using zoom level 16 ortho, I believe, up in Vermont here. Got the field made. A little high. Feel that wind. Nice. A little off center here. A little flare-docio there. There we go. Come on. Oh, nice. And up we go again. Watching the chat. I think I'm going to have to move my chat over to my eye line to the right a little bit. This thing cranked up. I agree with utilizing a lot of pattern, a lot of traffic. You know, a lot of you can't practice this enough, especially when you're squawking 1200 and people tune in just for the last like 30 seconds of flight to try to giggle at the landings. I think since I've reduced my sensitivity, I feel like I have a lot more feel over the controls. Doesn't look like there's anybody in the pattern. Start to drop out some power. And we should right about pattern height right there. Yeah, I guess that's a good way to look at it. You know, a lot of batting practice, a lot of reps, you just get better and better. You know, I don't know how much pattern work everybody wants to watch on your channel, but we'll soon find out as my numbers drop. Not this guy, he's just flying traffic patterns. Alright, this looks nice and stable right here. Coming up a beam of the numbers below 110, we will drop in that notch of flaps. We'll reduce the power a little bit more. Won't mess around with the trimming too much. Okay, yeah, I do rip the flaps off on occasion when I do certain aircraft above certain speeds. I do have it, it's on the, you know, rip flying surfaces off when you're a knucklehead checkbox. Give 3D, welcome to the channel. Alright, we're below 80. Hit that second notch, trim up a tiny bit. Definitely was a little bit more fluid by reducing that power a little bit sooner. And roll out. No, yeah, I think I read that too. About, you know, doing your flaps and corners and stuff. But I knew I was going, I think I was going too fast, so I knew I had to hit him. Let's see. Still up a little bit high. That's okay, we're in the Cessna, we can handle this. We'll just pull out some power. We'll scare the CFI here. That's looking a little bit better. That's right. Those big iron streams are everywhere. Hey, let's go up to 38,000 feet and look at nothing. We can talk about X and Viro in the clouds while we're up there. I think according to the manual, I'm supposed to have the fuel pump on. Hey, welcome to the channel. Yeah, I haven't attempted really to fly anything bigger than like the Caravan 208. I mean, other than like the Baron. Seatbelt switches. Fuel pump on. Bring that nose down a little bit. Oh man, the chat's going fast today. Yeah, I would. That would be fun. Sure would be interested. And pull the power. Oh. Flaring, flaring, flaring. Flaring. Oh, good. I hit the center line. Flaps up. Right rudder. And up we go. Right rudder. Hey, wow, Kenya, I think you are, well, one of my furthest viewers. I had some Australians early on. But yeah, hey, welcome. Welcome to Connecticut, United States. Well, actually, we're flying in Vermont. So go fuel pump off this time. Leave the landing light on for the pattern. Making left traffic. There we go. I moved my dashboard view up a little bit for the cockpit. I don't know if that's better or worse, if it's less real or more real. Okay, so it's okay to have the fuel pump on while you land in case there's an outage? And coming up. I'm really concentrating on really trying to keep my altitude really close today. I find like when I've been doing patterns, I've been getting a little bit sloppy and letting it go a little too much. So I'm really trying to practice my tightening that up. So I'm trying to stay right at 2,000 feet. See if I can drag you guys over here a little bit. There we go. I moved you over. Whoa. Little wind right there. Go first notch of flaps. Combat the ballooning there. Okay. Yeah, I've read a couple of different things. I've seen some people use it and some people keep it off. I'm trying to remember if in the Airfoil Labs manual if it said on for landing. I'm going to go out a little bit more this time. Okay, so if I have deep pocketed it and I want to replace my fuel pump a little bit more often, I can do that. Looking good, good. Take that second notch of flaps. We'll make our turn. Getting a little slow. Yeah, and here at Squawking1200, we sort of follow real life. Not really. I say it's kind of where fun meets flying, or where simulation meets flying. Hey, who's that in front of us? Is that a hawk? Look at that, World Traffic 3 doing its job. Jeez, I should check that pattern on my right there. Not seeing anybody. We're about to stall this sucker out. We'll get him behind this other guy here. So I now have both the 172s, the Reality Expansion Pack with the default and the Airfoil Labs. I like the cockpit of the Airfoil Labs, but I really like the way okay, well, I'm halfway to being a Twitch partner. I think I'm at about 24, 25 subscribers. Hey, there's another guy cutting us. Oh no, that's a car. Yeah, probably a couple months I might be able to make a Twitch partner. I know I have like 50% of the requirements are done. Yeah, 530 would be really nice in this. Everything kind of has little trade-offs. There's definitely parts of the rep that are really nice. Hey, look. Oh, I can't wait for Pilot to ATC to integrate. That guy's doing a go-around. I think I'm going to join him. First notch of flaps up. Evade, evade! I didn't hear his CTAF call, that's for sure. He's probably going to pop out right in front of us, underneath us. Yeah, there he goes. Hey, at least it's fun. We're not alone up here. That's one of the things that was driving me crazy. Yeah, the more people that come over to the channel, you know, the faster I'll become. Get that Twitch partnership. Be fun. What's he doing? Is he ditching already? Maybe he has an engine out. I don't know. Yeah, the cockpit, back to the cockpit thing, I think the cockpit is one of the reasons why I don't use the rep as much. Just the look and texture are just awesome. Oh, is that for my go-around? I forgot to pull my flaps up. Yeah, if that's what you're talking about. Reading the chat and not my checklist. 20 degrees seems pretty you know, it seems slow enough, it seems under control enough, stable enough. Jeff Dead 65, welcome to the channel. Like I said, you know, some of it I try to do quasi by the book. Like we're below 110 here. Extended downwind a little bit. It's funny, yeah, like the things that are more difficult in real life and the things that are more difficult in the sim, like timing the flare, unless you're Bambino and you're doing it in VR, is definitely a challenge on the 2D monitor. Alright, let's good. At 80. Coming in high again. Alright, yeah. Who was that? Whoever that was, thanks for the follow. I'm overshooting. It's a good thing I'm a little bit extended. Yeah, I just bought the Visual Flight Maneuvers Handbook that's put out by the ASA. So I was thinking about trying to kind of go sort of page by page and maybe do a stream of each page and kind of learn the book on as I go. You know, get a little bit more of the technical parts of stuff of aviation. You know, actually, the first page, jotting down all the statistics, fuel capacity, and coming in too high lately. That's better. Hey, somebody's landing next to us. I'm becoming a fan of World Traffic 3. You know, I think it does reduce the frames a little bit when it's cranked up. Coming in slow, 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 slow. Time to flare a little bit later. Pull the power. Not bad. One. Positive rate of climb. Come on. There we go. I feel like I got a lot of trim into this. I'm not climbing out that fast. Need more airspeed here. It's because I'm not full throttle. There we go. Scanning through the instruments and the throttle and the mixture. Oh, there's the Discovery. Pushing the throttle all the way. Turn. Coordinate. Keep it coordinated. Turning through 700. Back off the coordinate. And roll out. Rolled out a little bit late. I was really trying to keep that ball centered. And 2,000 feet. Checking. I don't see anybody landing currently. Alright, trim that down. That's a little better, alright. Beam of the numbers were a little bit wide. Reduce power first. It'll save me from dicking around with the flaps. Pull down to 15 to 1600 RPMs. Alright. So turn at 300 before at crosswind when. Okay, so I'm leaving a little too much throttle and a little too long. Spain Bros, thanks for stopping by. Turning final is always a little bit tricky too. Trying to, like, when I see the runway somewhere in here, that's usually when I start my turn. So I'm trying to reference that out a little bit better. No, thanks for the information. I'm definitely going to be trying to work that out. 300 feet before I'll pull out more power. That's one thing I think that's a little bit trickier to get the feel for in the sim that I think would be easier in real life. I think that lack of the movement, the real G-forces. Hold it. This time I'm going to go full throttle. Flaps. Positive rate of climb here. Second notch of flaps. Alright, so when I get to about 700, I'll start pulling the power out. I feel like I'm not turning really crisp right there on my turn. Okay, so leave it on up until till right about here, and then go down to 1600. Okay, that feels really good. So I'm going to practice that definitely. So that's holding and turning. Yeah, I think, yeah. So I should probably be at 1900 when I'm on the downwind leg. Somewhere in there. So once I start hitting a beam of the numbers, then I'll pull the power. Okay, so right there. Alright, so now I'm a beam of the numbers. I'm going to pull the power below 110, control the ballooning a little bit. I got somebody landing in front of me. I got two people landing in front of me. Wow, they need some separation right there. So yeah, about 300 feet at 1500. I'll leave that there. Anybody else in the pattern? Afraid to move my head around here. Screw up my position on the cockpit. Alright. Right down there is the Vermont Christmas train. Taking all those kids on a little ride with Santa Claus. The lake that we're flying over, they caught a Vermont state record sturgeon in. It was a white sturgeon. Reportedly, it was a 12-hour battle to get that fish into the boat. Should have checked that out my left window. Got enough airspeed I can compensate for this. Thanks for coming by, Bambino. I think because I was slightly extended on my downwind, I didn't need to put the flaps in turning base. Coming over the threshold right here. Drop some of this out. Start the flare. Round off flare, flare, flare. That felt really good that time. A little late on the rotation. Left, I got one guy in the pattern. So flaps all the way up right when I touch down. So I busted my altitude that time. Reading the chat. So get in the habit of going flaps up all the way when you touch down. Okay, so right, hit that, hit the, get sort of stabilized, flaps up, full throttle. I'm going to go a little bit earlier this time. Okay. So once I'm down, flaps up. This has been super educational for me. Thanks for all the tips and joining the stream. Do you stream too? Kadam 587. Hey, Airtime 123. Thanks for joining the channel. No worries at all. Where am I? Oh, there I am. Losing track of my spot here. So I've been looking at, some of the new. I'm way off here, jeez. Yeah, there we go. Some of the new auto-gen buildings earlier this morning. Looks like there was definitely some improvement. Hey, Ocelot in Beanie 593, welcome to the channel. We're doing some pattern work here with X-Plane 11, 1.0 release candidate 3. Hey, thanks for the follow. I have to fix, who is it? Oh, that was you, Kadam 587, thank you. My OBS, I need a third monitor. I've been doing this a month or so, maybe a little bit more. And I've learned a ton just about the mechanical aspect of doing a stream, and not only the piloting of the aircraft, but also piloting, talking, reading, and how to set up OBS, how to set up and all the things that go with Twitch, exporting to YouTube upon completion, tagging, keywording, hooking up my webcam. That I just did about a week ago. Eesh. Feel like I'm way up high here. We're gonna land a little bit long. Oh boy, coming in fast and too slow, no energy. Oh, he's gonna hit hard. Oh yeah, I saw that one coming. That's that's probably that third notch of flaps thing. About 500, turning crosswind. I feel like I had a little bit too much right rudder in, like I'm pushing myself left. Coming up on 300 before pattern altitude. That's better. Nobody in the pattern right there. And nose down a little bit. A little right rudder, it looks like. And rolling out. Pull some power, 1900 or so. Still a little quick on that downwind leg. That was really fast. Below 110, we'll do that first notch of flaps. Turn crosswind 300 feet. Okay. I'll go up a little bit higher then. See, I thought I'd read or saw somewhere someone recently just said start, 500. At 80. Roll it out. Second notch of flaps. Get my 1500 descent RPM. It's a little bit better. Feed in a little bit more power. So 70 and 500 feet. The runway looks pretty good. The aircraft feels really stable. Feels like I'm a little too low at 200 feet above. I should be up a little bit more. Yeah, right about there. Maybe we'll do one more and we'll go, maybe look at a little flight sim economy. Oh, I'm going way too fast right there. I started reading. Upwind 74 knots. Crosswind 74 knots. It seems like when I pitch up for 74 knots, like somewhere in there, like that's like little more airspeed. It almost seemed like, to me, like super severe. So like, where we'd be like right around. So you can't reach it right there. That's a little too low. It almost seemed like the nose was pitched up a lot, but if that's normal, for the nose to be, you know, pretty high up, again, that's one of those, I think that having the real life experience of knowing, yeah, you're pitched up pretty high, your nose is, and that's, again, that's a little bit of a sim learning thing. And see, I was already at pattern altitude as I turned crosswind, which I know you're not really supposed to be at pattern. Okay. That's going to be the more the practice part. You know, is holding that thing up at that 74 in between, you know, the 70 and 80. Find my lake. To me, that felt really smooth right there. Now we're 110, we're beam of the numbers. Control the ballooning. Maintain that 300 feet. I think I'm dropping a little too much right there. Yeah, and I think also your, you know, the pattern altitude and, you know, what you feel, the organic, like, shake, vibration, the tip and pitch of the aircraft. That's the one thing that's really hard to simulate. So I'm not sure if I'm pitching, like when I'm pitched up, how it physically feels, like if I'm like leaned back like this far in the cockpit, if I'm only this far looking up, how much horizon nose, like where's that guy going? Alright, he's looking good. He's two notches of flaps here. Okay, so airspeed and altimeter. I'm trying to eyeball the horizon kind of with this edge of the compass. But I did, you know, adjust my viewing distance a little bit closer to the cockpit. You know, trying to decide, you know, which would be the more comfortable view. Centered. Flaps up. Full throttle and rotate. So I'm just a little bit under 70, so I need to drop the nose down a little bit. Fly Boyak, how are you? Welcome to the channel. So there we go. It's around 74, 700. Okay, I'll start trying to look deeper. I'm trying to hold the, you know, the touchdown spot in a consistent spot. I'm totally missing my turn here. That's alright. And there. Yeah, so, you know, trying to pick the horizon. Probably around level with this seated position. That seems to be kind of that neutral right in there. Could hear that RPM cranked up. $100. Yes, I'm trying to find, you know, the spots that are reasonably referenced. I know I should already be probably 700-800 feet. Just going a little bit extended here. Start to roll out there. I'm going to go second notch, then I'm going to make my turn. Yeah, that last one, I don't know what was going on, why I was going 120. Yeah, this feels nice and steady. 1600, 500 feet, 70 knots. Okay. I think I was coming in a little bit slow. I didn't have enough time to like really get a forward momentum to have the horn come on. Alright, here comes the horn. Nope. The back pressure was almost there. Hey, Bambino, welcome back. Coming up. So we got 74 right about there. A little forward. A little forward. A little back. A little back. 700. Starting our turn. And let's see, at pattern altitude. Check our downwind. Alright, yeah, I'll check my trim. So far I didn't bust my altitude, but man, I gotta pull the power out a little bit sooner. Yeah, we're way past the numbers. Check. Put some of the power back in. Good. I'm glad it's fun and a little bit entertaining. I'm gonna adjust my chair. I'm starting to get a kink in my neck from like being super tense trying to get some of these numbers right. All for fun, all in the name of aviation. Well, it's fun having a commercial pilot here in the chat. You know, it's one of the disadvantages of being like basically self-taught. You know, I've been in and out of simulation since I was 12 years old with like the sublogic and learning to like that little green dot on my black and green screen. And I was always considered myself like a barnstormer. I would just fly from like place to place, land the aircraft, and had no idea about like any proper procedures, what traffic patterns were, anything. So my recent comeback in like X-Plane 10. And then finding this whole awesome online community. Yeah, I'm having fun with it. I tell my kids, don't let education stop you from learning. or don't let school stop you from learning. You know, I was telling me if they find something of interest, go ahead and have that. I mean, right there, drop that notch of flaps in. I think I'm going to let this go a little bit further down the runway. Uh-oh, spawned in front of me. You better get out of the way. I'm going to land on top of him. Where's that horn? There it is. Oh, yeah. I'll race him now. Oh, he's got that lead on us. Oh, let's chase him. Thanks. Hopefully we got a little bit more power than he does. I think we should just chase it just for fun. See where that thing goes. We got plenty of fuel. So keeping up that airspeed, you know, using the pitch to hold that 74, no matter kind of what the pitch of the aircraft seems like, even if it seems like it's too much for me visually, as long as I'm at 74, I'm within what it should be. And so I think getting some of that out of my head is what I visually seems weird, like I feel like I'm pitched back too much, is probably correct. Okay. I'm gonna chase this guy. I think he's got us though. He's got that little bit of a lead on us. Drop the nose a little bit. I don't know if he realizes he's being tailed. So Kadam 587, which are you, United States? Are you out of country? Out of our country? My country? Casper Johnson, welcome to the channel. Welcome to my welcome to Squawking1200. Nice. Yeah, I'm East Coast, Connecticut. Oh, we got this guy. I wonder what the AI thinks about when someone starts following them. I did a VATSIM flight on in Southern Cal last week. It was crazy. I'd take off, the weather was perfect. I'd turn downwind and the sim would go full fog. I would turn towards final. It would all clear up again. It was driving me crazy. I would get those big shifts. So I think what I have to do is, when I fly online, is really extend out the timing of when the weather can change. I might have been on like every 20 minutes, but it seemed like it was doing it every like 4 minutes. That was the only thing I could think of that would kind of correct that. We're headed west. Let's see, west, where are we going? New York? So what's your usual aircraft that you fly, Kadam? Kevin Adams. That's reminds me of similar to what my screen name was before. Okay, nice. So something at least similar. I fly the new Just Flight Piper Arrow. I've done that a few times. That has actually ruined every aircraft. Even this one looks like a toy. It was worth the $42. Hey Flyboy, how are you today? Welcome to the channel. It's definitely worth picking up, but you will not want to fly anything else once you see the cockpit of that. It's probably underhyped, I think. Sometimes things seemingly get hyped up a lot. And this one, the reviews in that Arrow, the reviews have been really good, but I think even the reviews are probably a little bit understated. The flight's going good. We were just doing I was just getting some commercial pilot tutelage from K Adams 587, teaching me about air speeds and making sure that I stay at around 74, lifting off and turning to my traffic pattern at around 700-800 feet, and waiting for that stall horn to hit before landing. And right now we're just chasing this World Traffic 3 generated Cessna in front of us. We're trying to figure out where he's going. He's been gaining distance on me. He's starting to look a little smaller. We are almost pegged out on the RPM. I don't know if I can lean it and get a tiny bit more out of this. Seems I'm just about there. And did I lose him? Put on my binoculars. He's still there. Gonna trim down a little bit, pick up a tiny bit more speed. Yeah, if you ever wondered where World Traffic 3 flights are going, we're gonna find out. Or we're gonna run out of fuel. Minus 12 Celsius. Better make sure that the pitot heat's on, huh? I believe I detect visible moisture. There he is. We've been steadily going west. I don't know, I think if we hold it here trimmed out, I think we can catch them. That looks like a Christmas tree farm down there. Where'd he go? I hope he didn't unspawn. Oh, there he is. Alright. Oh yeah, no, I'm just trying to catch this guy. But yeah, we're pushing the envelope here. I think he's got too big of a lead on us. That's one thing I think the reality expansion pack would be yelling at me. There'd be a bar up across the top of the screen saying, "Hey, yo, pilot, you are about to wreck this thing." Alright. So we're flying out in Seattle. Got an airport in front of us here. Alright. Where'd he go? I don't think he was that much lower than us, was he? I think we lost. I think he lost us. Scanning. He knew we were catching him. Alright. KMVL. Maybe that's where he's headed. Oh boy. We are officially out of VFR. Descending very quickly here. Hang on. There we go. Better. Better. Trying to tell if these are like new clouds or if these kind of more the same densities and stuff. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking they're about the same. No real improvement in them. Are you using X-Enviro or SkyMax Pro, or are you going with the default? That's always the big question. I'm on the fence whether I want to buy something or see if I can wait it out for Active Sky. You know, see if that rumor comes true. Okay, X-Enviro and default. This is a pretty thick layer of clouds. We've descended over a solid 1,000 feet. Yeah, that's why I'm waiting, because people, you know, the reports, everybody is wildly varied. Yeah, and that's, yeah, when I saw that, you know, the rumor of the active sky, I'm like, that looks really good. And I watched somebody in England, they were doing a flight with active sky. How low can these clouds go? Alright, here we go. Alright. Getting back to some VFR condition for me. I was starting to wish I had that the glass cockpit with the... God, this is going like... It's getting crazy. Alright. Alright, I think we got this. Clear. So I'm using the NOAA plugin. I thought if you held the clear button down, it cleared this thing. Never seems to. I am on Windows 10. Come on. Nope. 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 Trying to remember how to get to the nearest airport. Is it? Nope, that's the flight plans. Big knob, get me out of here. Hang on. I need to aviate here. Stop messing around with the GPS. Alright. I'm gonna have to look out my window and see if the whole Northeast is like this. I know we're supposed to be getting some snow this week. Hi, welcome to the channel. We're doing a little I'm just going to call it messing around currently. We were chasing one of the World Traffic to 3 planes, but he lost us. Then we hit an insane, like 2,000 feet thick wall of clouds we had to descend. We're using, if you haven't been to the channel before, we're using X-Plane 1110, release candidate 3. process this one. And let's see, there's an airport to our left. Let's go see if we can find that. Mike Victor Lima. Oh. That looks like a grass runway down there on our right. Top Dog 1255. Welcome to Squawking1200. We're just really casual right now. We were doing some pattern work. K Adams 587 was walking me through some airspeed, some turns, just general great tips. I'm going to go back through and play back you know, and look at, you know, and analyze a little bit of what I was doing. 10 miles straight in front of us. We're flying up in Vermont. We could be in eastern New York by now, actually, but I still think we're in Vermont. Gonna go the old sky vector here on the other side. Oh, Stowe. I've been here before. 135,625. The weather is a changing. What did I do? Got a lot of wind noise. I think that's the... Ooh, I'm not an expert in ILS approach. I've done a few. Pretty much you set your... K Adams could probably walk us through that without an issue. Let me take a look here. I don't know if this airport has an ILS. This does not have an ILS approach. Top Dog, have you tried the tutorial? That has a reasonably good one. I think he's probably looking how to capture the ILS. You know, and I'm pretty sure because I'm a self-taught, I'm not capturing the ILS really the correct way. I was following the chart. And you know, I would hit the... That's probably our airport down there, right? So do make a right bank. Actually, that's probably not our airport. It's got to be over here somewhere. Well, we should be right above it. For me personally, I think the best place to buy X-Plane is to buy it directly from X-Plane. The advantage of that is you get X-Plane gets more of your money, where Steam takes a cut of it. Yes, okay, so we're in agreement with that. Buy it from the website. Also the advantage is if you're not afraid of beta, you get to test X-Plane earlier than what they do on Steam. This has got to be one of those airports that might be buried in the... Oh, wait, there it is, back there, okay. I spied it. You get to try the betas. So if you're not afraid of using betas, when you get it from Laminar, you can just choose to opt into the betas. Whereas with Steam, they're a lot more conservative. So they really only, you can get some of the betas, but they're really not as readily released. I like the Ortho 16, looks pretty good. Yeah, if you get X-Plane, it does have there is an ILS tutorial, and if you know who Jeff Fabiano is, he does a video presentation about capturing the ILS, and he uses the X-Plane demo, so he goes right through that. This is funky scenery right here. The cliffs of Vermont. So let's see, so we're pretty even with the runway here. So it's 1. Yeah, you won't regret buying X-Plane either. It's a lot of fun. Nobody was in my pad. Turning left. Pretty far out, that line of trees, looking Kind of for my extended center line out here somewhere. That looks like we got a little, could be a golf course down here. Nice. Alright, here we go. I don't think those are Pappy lights. Are they? Oh, they are. Alright. They seemed a little bit wide spacing in between them. Catch that glide slope. 2 red, 2 white. Here comes the stall horn. Nope. That's that depth perception. I thought I still had some feet. All right, let's see. Let's park this thing. Never been to the cliffs of Vermont before. Hey, in 5 years or so, I'm thinking these simulators at home with VR, all this is going to eventually be fixed. It's going to be... Well, those are VASI, right? Pappies go left to right, right to left. Yeah, that's... I knew they were, in essence, kind of the same. My glide slope indicators. So let's see. Let me. Who's got a? So back to kind of doing the ILS thing. How come that does not show up on my screen? Where'd it go? I gotta find it. I'll find another one. Is this one? Yeah, that goes behind too. I'll bring them over together as a group. Alright, so top dog. This is how I've been able to capture the ILS. You need to put in the localizer frequency 111.1. This is for Kilo Bravo Delta Lima for runway 6. And then these are the waypoints. And these are the height distances, the elevations of our points. So Pina, Henny, Jetix, and this is the altitude glide path that I've always done to pick up the ILS. Probably wrong. So I want to make sure I'm here at about 3,000 feet, and then 1,800 feet. This should put me, you should be able to then see your glide slope indicator should become active. Okay, so Pappy is more precision, where VASI is the visual slope indicator. Okay, do the VASI lights only go red and white? They don't do the transition like the Pappy lights, like 1 through 4, like 4 white, 3, 2, 2 and 2, which is on glide slope, or 3 red if you're below. So it seemed like those the VASIs. So the glide slope indicator will most likely be active. That's the point where you will actually intercept the glide slope. So yeah, if he comes in this approach, matches up down here at his, around his 3,000 foot mark. And then as he comes in, that should all be within the glide slope for the ILS, right? So I think top dog, okay, yeah, he's gonna go. Like it's a little bit easier, I think, to train on a ILS by doing the first video or watching. Oh, cool! All kinds of awesome information. No, this has been awesome having you in the chat. Kind of having your own personal coach really helped on a bunch of parts. It does help clarify things. Some of the questions that I have, in my local area, trying to find, trying to understand the airspaces. And where not to fly when I'm VFR versus where to fly. And I'm sure Southern Cal looks like the East Coast. It's a lot of chopped up airspaces, a lot of big airspaces with New York and Boston, where you guys have LA and South. So again, this is part of my study, is making sure that I'm not at the wrong elevation and height when I entered airspaces. Yeah, that's crazy. These are what? All different shelves. You got to be 10,000, 3,800, 10,000, 3,200 coming in on this side. That's what in the Miramar. So that's the maximum and minimum, right? Cool thing is I came across a guy. I work at a university part-time doing tech support. I walked into a guy's office that's loosely connected with our department, trying to find some keys for another department. And he was watching some aviation videos. It turns out he's a commercial pilot, and he's got a bunch of, he's got all kinds of ratings. So I've been conveniently stopping in his office with lots of questions. So it's been pretty fun. So on top of like getting a little bit of work done, getting a little bit of aviation lessons too. Like VFR, you can fly all of this without entering the Bravo. They do. He was like, as soon as I asked him some questions, he's like, have a seat, let's chat. He was more than happy to share all the information, which is great because I have big gaps in like self-taught knowledge. You know enough to become somewhat proficient and can get through stuff in the cockpit, but then when it comes down to trying to become a little bit more accurate, reading the charts and observing the airspace and the restrictions and knowing when you need to be above it and when you can be below it, and that's the part that it's the technical part is really fascinating. I don't want that. So, okay, Adams, did you say you had a stream or not? Okay. No, I'd say if you had a stream, I'd definitely jump on and check some of it out. But it's one of those, my kids were doing it, and so that's kind of how I got back into I had to buy a super high-end gaming computer last year. I have a super high-end gaming laptop coming this Christmas. So I play X-Plane. I also do Battlefield 1. My son talked me into trying to figure out how to play Arma, but that is pretty complicated, as it is very quick and realistic. Guys are just popping out of the shadows at you. So this is I just popped in the Just Flight Arrow. But the modeling detail, somebody on the org actually came out with, I think, a mod to change the red velvet seats to black. The modeling detail of the cockpit is just phenomenal. Yeah, the red. It's pretty funny. Like, you got this seatbelt still strapped to the ceiling. But the creators did an awesome job. I did little demo of the Just Flight, and I tagged them in it, and one of their guys started, following my stream, which was pretty nice of them. But yeah, look at the wear and tear. Again, a little more complicated startup procedure. Let's see, got to put my fuel on. I got to move this thing out of my way for a second. Got to go with the battery. That's on. Mixture. Fuel pump. Check the fuel pressure. Crack the throttle down here. And then I think it was fuel pump off. This is one thing that's a little bit annoying, is the way the key works. From the outside, one of the cool things is that I like... Is that the... No, that's the smoke. Ugh. Let's see if we can pick it up on this side. This hasn't been modeled, I don't think, in a lot of aircraft yet. But you can see the prop get thinner and thicker. Come on, why is my parking brake not holding? So you get the volumetric prop with the prop pitch. Yeah, it looks, there it is. That was better. I don't know why that just jumped. Get me back inside. Yeah, so they took a lot of time with a lot of the details. So if you haven't flown one, the flaps on the floor like that. It has a heading hold, and I have not experimented with the roll hold, so I don't know if that just holds the bank in. Seems like that's probably what it does. So it's not like it's where you can set the heading bug and turn it, so it doesn't have a heading control. Okay, so it's called the Johnson bar. And there's still some spots I haven't even really explored. What's that do? Is that the trim? Left and right for the nose. Because I've been using the electronic trim and that doesn't change that. Yeah, so I'm using the trim that's up here and that doesn't seem to rotate. That's the one thing that I found that I didn't know when I had takeoff trim. Yeah, it seems like that would be kind of a pretty far reach. All the other Pipers have had it, up on the ceiling, which in some ways makes sense. So they got the left hand flying the aircraft and the right hand making the adjustments. Bad weather. Oof, snow indicated here. I don't know, can you hear the sound okay? I might be able to turn it up a little bit. It's funny, it doesn't want to barely stopping. Like I have the full toe brakes. I don't know if the runway is iced up. Because even when I have the brake on, the prop down low, see, it's moving almost like it's icy. It's starting to pull. That or I need to get new brakes. I don't know. The brakes I don't think are modeled. Oh, I know where the sound is. I forget this one. Yeah, so some of the other cool features here, you got the full sound bar. So you can crank up each part. The ground handling's gotten better though, I'll say that. You can hear a little bit there. It's got, you can open the doors, that pops out the GPS. This is the pull out of the autopilot. That just switches millibars. You can set it up for an auto fuel selector if you want. I have mine put on just like a key on my CH Eclipse for the fuel selector. This will tell you if you don't switch your, right now I'm not leaned out, so I'm starting to follow the plugs. And then it actually will simulate vapor lock. Pretty neat. This I think is just the weight and balance, kind of brings up the stock explained. That I think is auto start. The checklist is actually really neat because it's a dynamic checklist. So as you check stuff off, it turns green. You go to the next page, brakes. And it's a little bit beat up looking. Let's see, I think this is just more statistics. That's your logbook. This you call up pushback. It calls up the X-Plane's ground services. And then this just sets the wheel chocks. So it's got its own little reality expansion pack in. Some people have not seen a lot of reflection of hair. I guess we are. A lot of people remark about the dirt. I don't have the better pushback plug-in because I figured I should just get myself out of my Cessna and just move the thing to the right spot into the runway, or on the ramp. Seems to me like it would be overkill on a Cessna. Like all this dirt, you can turn the dirt on and off. So some people didn't like the dirt. I think it adds a lot, and I think the same thing with the gauges. So you can go with the full reflections. So sometimes if I'm spawned in at a gate that I can't rotate, what I do, I just use the rotate feature. I just do this. So I'll put myself in the proper orientation, like I actually towed the plane out myself by using the tow bar. Open and open. This is pretty cool. This is the wind. I had noticed I hadn't done this before outside. That's a pretty cool feature. So it's like a shut and latch. Hey, Flybad64, welcome to the channel. We're just talking about a couple of, just showing the the new Just Flight Piper Aero 3. Talking about the better pushback plug-in and stuff. So if you have any questions about the Just Flight Piper, I'd be glad to answer what I can of them. It's got a handful of liveries. I think you can change the livery on the fly too, like some of the other ones. That change the exterior. Probably gonna crash my sim. Yeah, I changed it. That's not. That's the air show smoke. So that must just be regularly modeled exhaust. But it sounds pretty sweet. Let's see. Take a quick look at my tanks here. Alright, that's about all I have time for today. So Kay Adams, thanks for coming by the channel. Thanks for all the help, all the tips. They were really helpful. Looking forward to practicing more of that stuff. Hopefully get the, I don't think you can ever really truly have a perfect anything, because I think you're always striving to be better and smoother at everything. So I'm looking at having greater improvements on my my pattern work in my landings. Fly Bad, thanks for taking the time to come by the channel. Who else is still left? I don't have a list of who stays in the channel. Might have to take a look at that. I think I only get the joiners. So with that, I'm going to go start cooking some dinner. Tomorrow, I will be on probably up more than I should. I'm off tomorrow from work. I have to take my fiance and her friends are kind of going out for a bachelor party down to Florida. So I'm going to be up at 4:30, 5 o'clock. So I might do an early morning stream, and then I'll probably come back in the afternoon and fly some more. Maybe I'll start with some patterns in the morning, and then maybe do a VFR flight in the afternoon. Yeah, Kay Adams, thanks. FlyBad64, thank you very much for coming by the channel. Press the follow button if you want notifications when I'm back online. See you guys.